300K. Welcome to Montana Madness. For 300K. For 300K. 300K. Welcome to Montana Madness.
Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back with some Montana Madness. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, normally I try to get like an entire night's play in to try to like add to the Montana Madness, but couldn't do that tonight, only got a couple of hours in. But still got a doozy of a match for you guys here to showcase, and I think this could have been the one if I'd have had just a teensy bit more help. I think this could have been the one. But you'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit. So we're going to immediately start out on north, or yeah, this is north. We're on the right flank in the north. But this is a map that I historically have had some absolute banger games on. I don't know what it is about this map, but it just lends itself to huge damage games. It just always has. Every time. My very first 200K game, I'm pretty sure, was on this map in the Alabama back in the day. It's just, this map is really good for big damage games. There's a lot of good opportunities for crossfires. People tend to live a little bit longer, so these matches tend to last a little longer on this map, which is nice. But tonight overall has been an interesting night, to be saying the least. I say interesting. I gotta quit calling it interesting because it's basically the same thing. It's less interesting and more just rinse and repeat, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't need to beat around the bush, but look, I mean, Conqueror, what are you doing, brother? You can't do this. Dude just opens up, goes full broadside immediately in front of a Bourgogne and me and a Hindenburg. Of course, out of the three of us, I'm the one that does all the damage. No shocker there. But overall, it's not going to end well for that guy if he stays that way. Speaking of not ending well for the guy, this Des Moines is freaking begging for it. I still have Arthas active, so we're going to go ahead and try to slap this Des Moines for his trouble. And you can see he's not moving really. He's just kind of sailing in a straight line, like half speed or less. So we don't lead him a whole lot, and he's lucky to not just be sent straight to the Shadow Realm because he opened up it just a little bit more there at the end that could have absolutely got him killed. But we still hit that man for 2/3 of his health, and I think the Bourgogne's going to finish him off. And you can see I'm still staring him down because I'm like, okay, well, do I need to shoot him again? And you can see we got deep water torps, we got the smoke screen here. There's a Jinan here, right? Pretty easy to figure that part out. But Conqueror's still broadside as crap, so we're going to go ahead once again slap him for his trouble. He's lucky he didn't get hit harder than that. We got a pretty unfortunate roll there, only landing 3 shells that did any damage. The other 3 shells managed to do nothing at all. That's real unfortunate. But what I want you guys to pay attention to next is this Conqueror's dead, right? Like, he's done. There's no pass and go, no collecting to it. He's waited too long. He's been broadside too long. He's been sitting there just waiting to die. Jinan comes out, firing his guns. He's going to start kiting. We finish off the guy. We get our increased main battery damage, which is always nice. Getting that nice and early into the game is going to help us with our damage goals during this match. But when you see what happens next is the enemy destroyer is going to come over from Bravo, which we kind of expected, and he's going to engage our Shimakaze. Shimakaze, if you are this person, do yourself a favor. If you ever see a Kleber, turn and run. Just turn and run, drop smoke, and immediately drop engagement. Because 9 times out of 10, that man's going to be using his main battery reload booster on you. So get out of there. You cannot afford to just sit here and take this much damage from him. Now, I do get a shot here at the Kleber. We're going to get a couple of little hits on him. And again, we're doing our best, but I only have so much. Our Hindenburg isn't in a position to really shoot him. Our Bourgogne can't really shoot him. Like, between us, it's just me shooting this guy, and the Shima wasted that much time before he decided to smoke up. And now the bad thing is, because he wasted so much time and ends up smoking up, he kind of gives this Kleber a smokescreen, which is not ideal. But you can see the front guns didn't get close enough. The rear guns, I believe, do end up hitting the Kleber again here. You can see we get a pretty good hit there. But again, Hindenburg is just going to YOLO straight into this. And you've got to, if you're the Hindenburg in this situation, I understand what the thought process is going in after the Kleber, but you waited too long. And more than that, you have to understand that you cannot, under any circumstance, go around that island. There is still 3 enemy battleships sitting right there in the middle of the map. They have not moved the entire game. They've been lit up the entire game. And yet, my guy's going to just YOLO around the corner and get obliterated for his trouble, as he should. And the other side of this is they're spotting our teammates, and our teammates are just going to get absolutely yeeted. There goes the Hindenburg. Shocker. Who'd have seen that coming? Wisconsin here actually gets real lucky. I get a look at this Wisconsin's broadside, and I was salivating because I got Arthas ready. I'm going to go ahead and start angling away. We're going to hit the Arthas button, and we get a good hit on the Wisconsin, but he turned away just a little bit to try to go behind the island, and so a lot of our shells ended up missing there, which is just unfortunate. But we're trying to turn away because we knew the Yamato was going to be able to shoot us, so we go ahead and get a little bit of distance, and Yama gets a really good shot. I mean, what more can you ask for out of a Yama right there? Even with me turning away, he lands pretty much every shell. Now, as we go to put the shot on the bow of the Yamato, he decides to start moving, which is unfortunate because that means all my shells are going to hit his armor, and you can see we do ricochet 5 shells, or 6 shells, 1 shatter, off of the belt of that Yama, which is never where you want to hit the Yama. At least not at range anyway. But I was thinking he was going to continue to sit there and I was going to be able to snipe his citadel through the cheek, but he started moving, rightfully so. But as he starts to push forward, we're going to go ahead and aim a little higher this time. And goal here is knock out guns or just hit superstructure, right? And so we get a good shot into the guns and superstructure area. Get a little bit of chip damage, not a lot. He's going to get another shot. We're continuously being spotted. You can see the Kleber's back in the cap over on the right. And the Bourgogne is kind of just following in the Hindenburg's footsteps, except he stops and starts reversing. But the problem with the Bourgogne is now he's going to reverse away from the Kleber, but he's going to end up reversing right out in front of the 3 battleships that are over here in the middle. Now, our left flank managed to win their flank, which is great. Our Lachune ends up pushing all the way around the cap, going into the Bravo cap from their side, which is pretty awesome because that allows us to get a lot. Our Schlieffen managed to kill the enemy Wisconsin. We get a huge hit over the island there on the superstructure of the Yamato. And you can see I didn't want to turn in initially because, again, we have an island here. I didn't want to be stuck broadside, so we have to go around the island. But we're going to try to put ourselves back in position to where we can help with the guys in the middle of the map. Our Lachune is piddle-farting around, still hasn't gotten into the cap yet. And this is stuff that's going to cost us later down the line, right? Bourgogne is broadside to the Yama. I mean, this is never going to end well. And there's also the Preußen out there as well. There's a lot of firepower against your broadside. You can't be given your broadside. And you can see just the amount of damage he takes there. Kleber takes a couple of little pot shots at him as well, but that's not going to be anything consequential. The biggest problem is the fact that this guy's broadside to all of the battleships on the enemy team. And our Lachune still has not gotten into the cap, but he is starting to. He's starting to finally decide to go into the cap here. And as he gets into the cap, this is a good thing because it allows our team to have a little bit more of an advantage or a little chance in this match. Both teams are roughly equivalent right now, right? Except the enemy has lost no destroyers and we've lost one of ours, right? So that's the big turning point here. But our destroyer is arguably doing more than their destroyer, because our destroyer is actually capturing bases, which can give us the points lead that we need to maintain throughout the match. And I want you guys to pay attention to a couple of key players. Now, this Mino has been dackying his heart out for the entire match. This man has been in position to shoot at things for a while, and he's just continuously firing his guns, which is what you love to see out of a Mino. But you got to be careful in the Mino as well. because one misplay and you go back to port real fast. Now Bourgogne again, he's bow into the battleships now, which is great, but unfortunately it's too little too late. Ends up taking a Jinan torp as well. We knew those guys were out there, but there's not a whole lot we can do about it, right? But that's what happens when you put yourself in a situation where you don't have an out, right? And that he didn't really ever try to give himself an out. Now here, Kleber comes around the corner. We'd already fired. We get a good hit, 3 pins, over 4,000 damage, and we managed to finish him off, saving our destroyer. Our Mino's still alive, but now watch the Mino as the Mino goes up against the Preußen here. Mino is right out in the open, gets very lucky to not be sent to the Shadow Realm there, but then he does the unthinkable. I don't know if he doesn't have a smoke screen. Maybe he used them all already, but if you're in this situation in a Mino, the last thing you want to do is turn towards the enemy and then go broadside to get your torpedoes away. This is the dumbest move he could have made, and it ends exactly how you'd think it is. He goes back to port immediately. And for what? Is he going to torp the guy? No. The guy's going around the island. So what was the purpose of that torp strike? It didn't have one. It was idiocy, right? And that completely undoes every good thing he did during the rest of the match. I don't know if he was getting good damage or not, right? He shot his guns for the entire duration of the match. But you can see that shot right there brings us up to 186,000 damage. The Preußen isn't the issue here. So our Mino throwing all of his health away right there is just pure and utter goofiness to me. I don't understand that play. Now, we have a Yama out over our bow. We have the Yama still behind the island. We have the Preußen that moved away and got behind us. We know the Jinan just spotted us because Kleber's already dead. The Jinan just spotted us through the gap. So we know the Jinan's there. He's going to get spotted here as he's firing his guns over the island again. And you can see I'm going to go ahead and try to turn out here. But unfortunately, those guys did manage to get me spotted around the island. We got the Yama in the backfield spotting me. And he's going to get a good shot at me here, I believe. And even though I get angled away, I guess it wasn't this one. Okay, I thought it was this one that he slaps me. But you can see I am going to try to get some shots into the Yama. Again, knowing that we need to get some kills here, I'm trying to focus the lower health ships that I can potentially kill. And we get a good hit into the superstructure again on the Yamato. Our Lashun, again, is just kind of doing nothing at the moment. He lost a lot of hit points against the Kleber. I get that. This was the one that got me. That was the one that he Citadel, man. I was like, really? Really? A 21,000 damage Citadel at an angle like that from that range is kind of... He shot awfully far forward to be hitting Citadel on that shot. But he got it. That's all that matters, right? Now, as I start to turn in, I'm trying to turn in because I want to be able to continuously get shots at the Yama. You can see I didn't quite get the shot around the island on that one. We know the Jinan is close by. We know the Preußen is also going to be coming through the Alpha Cap at some point, and he's going to have a broadside of us, which is not ideal. Okay, that's when the Preußen becomes a problem. Any other time, it's not really that big of an issue, but you can see, unfortunately, our Preußen is about to go down, and their Yama takes another shot at me, but I get to stay hidden for the time being, at least until the enemy Jinan decides to show up. And as I make this turn, again, I am anticipating the Preußen coming through Alpha. That's why I'm not firing my guns at the Yamato here. I want to keep myself ready to go so that I can engage the guys that need it. Now, you can see I'm looking at the Yama here. It looks like he might be coming around the corner. I wasn't sure what the Jinan plan was, but I knew the Preußen was coming. You can see Preußen gets me spotted here, and Jinan is right there. Unfortunately, I'm right in the middle of a turn, going full broadside. I get my shot out on the Jinan. Preußen does what Preußen does, which is slap the shit out of me. We get real unlucky here on the Preußen. We only got one Citadel on a broadside Jinan. Like, one Citadel on the broadside of a Jinan with Arthas active. That is so unfortunate. But we got 11,000 hit points left. We got 241,000 damage dealt. And you can see the amount of damage that's left in this match. Like, we could have potentially gotten the 300k game here if it wasn't for being able to get turned just a little sooner. Like, if I could have gotten turned a little sooner, I think I would have been able to be angled enough to avoid most of the damage from that Preußen. And then this game would have likely have been the 300k game. Because even with all of that being said, you're going to see me, I'm going to just say, okay, well, this is game over. There's not a whole lot I can do. We are winning the game right now, so you could possibly make an argument that I shouldn't have fired my guns there. I didn't realize that we had taken the lead. I knew it was close, but you can see me firing my guns at the Yama on the other side of the map. ends up keeping me spotted for the poison and the Janon there. So, a little bit my fault there. We had the points lead. I probably should have just not fired my guns there. Would it have ended up any differently? I doubt it, because unfortunately our Lashun has put himself in a position where he's going to be countered here. So even if I hadn't died, I think this guy still would have, because as you can see, he just swings and misses on this guy that's coming out of a smoke screen, and he's 4 kilometers away from him, so he's going to be spotted. And I don't know how you managed to screw this up so badly, but again, can't really blame him so much. I made a mistake there at the end of the match as well, not recognizing that we had the points lead and I didn't need to do what I did. But I did everything in my battle, or in my abilities, to try to give us the win there. But 2,195 base XP and a loss in a Montana. That's a rough one. Those are the kind of games that keep you up at night. But anyway, let me know if you guys are still enjoying the Montana madness down there. If you like what I'm doing, punch a like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.